is going to be I'm going to have the buyer on the line with my seller and talk about seller finance terms. That's what happens when you build your network up. You don't know the lingo. You could have somebody do it for you.
Tyler, so I'm adding the seller.
What's up, Tyler?
Adding the seller to the call.
Hey, okay, sounds good.
So I got the seller here on the phone. He wants to talk about the seller finance option.
Hey, Chris. Okay. Chris is on the phone?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Chris, this is Isaiah. Sorry I called you from a random number, but I can't three-way call from my phone, so I just had Abel do it. So this is my partner, Abel, and then I have Tyler on the phone. Tyler's more of the expert in as far as terms and seller financing, things like that. So I'm going to just let you guys take it away. Tyler, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hey, how's it going? Remind me your name again, sir?
Chris.
Chris. Pleasure,
yes.
Pleasure to meet you. My name is Tyler. I'm going to be kind of going over just some of the numbers for this seller finance deal, just so you and I are kind of on the same page. I did get a little bit of a preface on where things are at here. Just to confirm, are both of these properties in a portfolio together, or are they separated?
They're separated.
Separate. Okay. And my understanding is that we're doing 345 for both of these under seller finance terms, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm also seeing here as well that you would like 6% interest included in this deal, and that you're also open to nothing more than a 10-year financing term. Is that right?
Well, yeah, we can go 30 and with a 10-year balloon.
Sure. Okay, so you would want it it could be amortized over like a 30-year amortization, but you would want a balloon in 10 years.
Right.
Okay.
Take notes.
Given that we are,
take notes.
For sure. And I'm kind of thinking here, since we are free and clear, that really the only thing that I'm trying to accomplish here, if I'm gonna pick this up, is I want to pick this up on the basis of cash flow. Now, if I can make a certain amount of cash every single month after all expenses, I have no problem financing this however we need to. But what I could do is instead of doing a 6% interest rate, what if I just increase the purchase price? Instead of it being $345, how about we just do like $360?
You lost me.
So what I want to do, instead of incorporating interest, I'd rather just do principal pay down. And so I think what I would like to do is incentivize this. Instead of doing interest on $345,000, I'd rather just do $360,000 as the purchase price, and then do this within a 10-year balloon term. I'd be looking to refinance this the first opportunity that I get, or to pay you off the remaining amount. But within the duration. Say again?
Yeah, I'm probably not interested in that. I want a return on my money, and that just going from 345 to 360 is over a 10-year period is not enough.
No, it won't be over a 10-year period. We'll still be within that time frame. I'm not changing any of the terms of the agreement, aside from instead of 345 at 6% interest, I'd rather just do 360 with no interest. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but that means that you get my money tied up with no interest, and you're just prepaying me $15,000.
So you'd rather just have the interest, and just because we're going to be tied by obligation to a promissory note and a deed of trust on this. So whatever we agree upon, that's what you should expect from us every single month.
All right. Yeah, I understand that. Now we can either go with the cash deal, or if you're interested in the financing at 6%, that's fine too. But
okay. Well, then let's just go ahead and do that then. Well, if you want to do the 6%, I'm perfectly okay with that. I just thought that maybe it might be a better option just to incentivize it and do just principal pay down. Because again, we're looking to refinance this within that 10-year period.
Right.
I want to do this the first chance I get, right? Like this could be 2 or 3 years down the road. But what I was wanting to do was, just have that strict principal pay down to where, I can just pay toward the loan that I owe, and then whatever's remaining at the time we are able to refinance, just pay off what's left.
Yeah, no, I'm not interested in loaning you the money at 0% interest, even with a little bump in the price.
Okay, yeah, we'll do 6%. I'm okay with that. Some people, so it does make it all kind of pencils out the same at the end of the day because ultimately, if I did go through the full 10-year term, you would ultimately acquire like that extra $12,000 to $15,000 in the interest. That might even be less than that. So you're achieving the same thing at the end of the day, except it's just locked in up front. But I'm cool with just having the 6%, like incorporating the deal with where we're at, and that's totally fine. So everyone has a different preference. Okay, so let's see. All right. Now we're renting for the rental rate is $2,500 to $2,800. Does that sound about right?
Well, that's what the market. That's not what they're in there at right now, but that's what the market would bear.
And what are they in there right now for?
The tenants in there right now are pretty far below market. One's at 21, one's at 22.
If we decided to keep the tenants, are they going to be okay? Because I mean, we're looking to 25 is kind of like on the lower end out in this area. I do see stuff that's out there for 28. So I mean, arguably, I'm really trying to. I do want to maximize my cash flow here. So I mean, is that going to be an issue for them or?
I can't answer for them.
Okay, and are they on month to month or do you have a lease established? Okay.
No, they're on month to month.
And
one of them it may be an issue for them. The other one I don't know. I can't answer for them.
Gotcha. Okay. So if we come to an agreement, how much time do you need for them to vacate?
Well, I don't expect them to vacate until after you take I don't expect them to vacate until after you take possession.
So you would want to make sure that the deal is 100% going through before you give any kind of like indication of needing to vacate. Because ideally, either one or two things is going to happen. Like I'm going to keep them in place, I'm going to raise the rents, or I'm just going to come in and just occupy with new tenants.
Yeah, they're aware of that. They're aware that that there's gonna be a new owner, and that we may or may not keep them. But I didn't really speak to them too much. But about they have to move out, I just told them what it was. I didn't tell them, but I did tell them to prepare if that was the case. But they're aware.
Yeah, they're on a month to month, but they'll get a certain amount of notice. I think by the lease that they're month to month on, I think it's a 60-day notice. But I'm not interested in throwing the tenants out until after before we've closed on the property.
Yes.
I don't want to end up with something going wrong and have an empty property either.
Gotcha. Okay. So would you be during this? What we could do is I could do interest-only payments during this financing arrangement. So if we did the purchase price at $345 per property at 30-year amortized rate at 6%, that would put my monthly payments to you at $1,537.50 per month.
Yeah,
and that would be the interest.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to do interest only either because I'm trying to spread out the tax liability.
Okay. What I could do at $1,537 per month with interest only, I do have a pretty decent amount of surplus to cash flow at that. I do have a little bit of room to do monthly payments to you as well toward the principal. That would probably be somewhere around honestly like $250 per month in order for this to make sense at a 6% amortized loan to 30 years.
That sounds pretty good. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I have to run the numbers on that and think about it.
Because it's just kind of, when we're incorporating interest, and this is another reason why I like to do straight principal, is because I'd rather just pay directly toward the principal for the entire financing term. And then that way, when I do balloon out, you know, I do have some kind of dent with the amount that I owe, like toward the debt. You know, with the interest, like that's fine and all, but it kind of limits the amount of money that, you know, I can also fork out on top with, you know, the principal pay down as well. Because as I said, I want a cash flow on this. And, you know, so if we're capped, and my numbers are run like if I'm renting this out at $2,800, if I'm paying $1,537 to you toward just the interest, I'm cash flowing $603. At the absolute lowest, like I ideally do not want a cash flow less than $350 a month for it to make sense for me. So, you know, what are your thoughts here? Like I'm more than happy to do a little bit toward the principal each month, but you know, if we could do this at zero interest, I can just make it all principal. I'd rather pay you $1,500 directly every single month to give you a nice down payment, and then we just continue the payments until we're ready to balloon.
Yeah, well, all these numbers are rolling around in my head now. There's too many of them.
Is there anything in particular? Because I have a calculator right in front of me. You know, if there's any math you want me to do for you, you know, let me know. I'd be happy to give you some clarification.
No, I just have to study the numbers on the side to determine which way I wanted to go.
Gotcha. So yeah, if you went to a bank right now and went to get a loan for $345 on this house, you know, chances are your interest rate with the bank would be 6.5%, right? That's like the average, give or take, right now for the loans. If you did that on top of paying 20% down, which would be like $69,000, you would be paying $1,665 a month for the property.
With 20%, yeah.
That's with 6.5%.
Based on the 345 or
based on the 345, correct. Now, if I rehab this house and I refinanced it like 75%, I think ARV for this, like fully renovated, is probably somewhere around 500. You know, if I actually came in and put in the work and updated everything, you know, you refinance that, you know, 75% of that is about 375, I think. We're at 345, so I'm kind of in the area where, you know, I can pay you a good amount up front, you know, just pay principal down, and then I can refinance this fairly quickly here, I think. But again, you know, I want this to make sense for you. The numbers seem to pencil out pretty good on my end. I just want to know, like, you know, we're not looking to take the full 10 years here.
Right.
I would try to do it in like 6 or 7 at most, and maybe sooner. So just to make sense of this, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, we can do interest, but it's that interest really only matters in the long term. We're talking a very short financing arrangement here. You know, I'd rather just pay you directly the principal. Like we negotiate on the down payment, we negotiate on the number that you're going to make every month, and then as long as I can achieve the cash flow that I'm looking for every single month, I have no issue with anything else.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to have the numbers for the different.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
different ways in
we
front
can
of me.
reconvene. Yeah, we can reconvene. We can continue to talk about this. I can actually, I can get your email. I can send you all my numbers. You can cross-reference. We can get on the phone again and run through them together. I want this to make sense for you as much as it makes sense for me. So no need to feel rushed into making a decision right this very moment. I do know that you do have an agreement with my associate. So, you know, I do want to work on your time here, but at the same time, I'd want to make sure we do our due diligence to where it all makes sense for everybody.
All right, hold on.
Right. Well, yeah, if you can send me the numbers or in the different formats that you're talking about.
Sure. Sure.
And then I can do a comparison on them and run them against my own thoughts and see what I can come up with.
Okay.
Gotcha. Now, for these properties, what would you need as a down payment for it to make sense?
Well, that depends on the deal we make too.
Well, I'm good with the purchase price. It's more so, because I want to be. I really am looking to compete with the DSCR loan here. Because with the DSCR coming in at 20% entry, and then getting hit with the ridiculous amount of interest on top of being regulated by the bank and having debt to income ratio and all these other things that comes with the bank being the middleman. I prefer to be as competitive to that as possible and not be around the same terms. Because if I'm going to have the same terms, I'll just go through a bank. But yeah, we can definitely have a further discussion about this. Definitely want you to be happy at the end of the day and make sure that we can maximize the amount that you can get for this house.
All right, yeah, email me the numbers and the different proposals.
Sure.
So
before I let you go, you got it. Before I let you go, I did get some numbers on your property taxes and insurance. I am seeing that you're paying $5,000 a year on property taxes, and insurance came in some around $1,580 per year. Does that sound right?
Yeah, the property tax was like $5,061 or something. It was a little over $5,000.
And that's for each property respectively, correct?
Yes.
Understood. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, they got me priced way up in a valuation appraisal.
Yeah.
So
what I'll do is I'll run the numbers based on our financing terms that we kind of discussed so far with all the numbers that you gave me, just so you can see kind of how my numbers land and what I'd be making on top of being able to fill what I can pay you. And I'll also show you what refinancing this property would look like if we came in, put in the rehab and refinanced it and kept it up for rent. So you can kind of get a good idea of what my exit strategy might look like here. Because there's two options I can take. One, I can buy this house for a competitive entry, hold it for the sake of cash flow for 6.
This guy has commission breath, and it's aggravating.
My money out tax free, and then I can sell in the market, and I can pay you what's remaining, and then just be done with it. There's two different. We're at a price point where I do have two options, so it's really just going to come down to what you and I decide as far as the down payment and what the monthly payments are going to look like.
Well, okay. Yeah, well, send the information to me, and I'll look it over and see what I think.
Okay. All right. Cool. Now, can I say something before we hang up the phone? I want to say something, Chris. When we last spoke, Chris, I told you that we were really just trying to buy this cash. It's our preferred way, and you're really you're really pushing. You'd say you'd much rather have the mortgage, hold the loan, hold the payment and everything. That way you could avoid the taxes. You seemed a bit eager when we were talking about it.
That way I can spread the taxes out over a number of years. But
right.
Yeah,
so I want to.
That's another great reason. Yep, we do the same thing.
So I want to know. I mean, when you had the idea to hold the note, you said you want 30-year amortized, 10-year balloon, 6% interest rate. What else, or what about it, or what else kind of are you concerned about as far as those terms? Because as far as I know, we could meet every single one of those terms, and it sounds like good news to me.
The only other thing would be some sort of down payment.
Okay. Yeah, and I know last time we were talking about that. You said you really wanted 10% down, and we were talking about. I said something like I think 6 or 7. But we never really finished talking about it because, like I said, we were just so focused on the cash deal. But I mean, if we could make all those terms happen for you, because I mean, this is good news to me. That means we could close faster. We could give you exactly what you want. You could defer the taxes. If we could come up with terms that fit you, exactly what you said, 10% down, 6% interest rate, 30-year amortized and 10-year balloon, do you think we could make a decision on it this weekend?
Yeah, I just want to look the numbers over and mull them around in my head.
Okay, because we have these funds set to the side, ready to go. Like I said, same as the cash, but except this one would be way faster. And so we just want to know if we start moving the money around that, you're actually considering it to move forward, like soon.
Yeah. Yeah, just send me the numbers. I'll look them over, and then I can give you a call back on Sunday or Monday or whenever you want.
All right, I'll call you Sunday. I'm gonna send your email address over to Tyler and Abel, and then he'll send you everything, and I'll send you his number as well. I'll give Tyler your number as well, so he may reach out to you. But I'll call you Sunday.
Okay.
All right, awesome.
All right.
This is great news.
Okay. Okay, I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much. Be in touch.
Okay, bye. Bye-bye.
I mean, for a newbie who's watching this, y'all are probably thinking, "Wow, that sounds impressive. Wow, I wish I learned how to talk like that." But I feel like the more mature salesperson in me knows that he had commission breath like a motherfucker, and he was just trying to sell him way too much. It was a lay down already. You didn't have to do all that. He was foaming at the mouth for it. For the seller is foaming at the mouth for a seller finance deal. He's given, like, he'll take it today. So Tyler didn't really need to come in there and try to sell him. Using all the terms to show that you're knowledgeable. That could just be the way he talked, but to me, it sounded like he's at my level of sales, and he just had a little bit of commission breath because he got super excited about the deal. I know it's a good seller finance deal too, but when it was time to lock up him under contract, he kept begging me, "Can we do seller finance?" I said, "No, cash." Right? Because I don't got time to write up all those terms, seller finance terms. We doing a cash deal, get you under contract, then we could talk about that. Then we could write up a new agreement. I'm trying to get the contract signed now, because if I didn't get the contract, I wouldn't be here having this conversation. But anyways, yeah. Notes to take, I'd say just study some of the terminology that Tyler was using. It's pretty simple, but if you've never really dived into that world of creative finance, then it could sound like Chinese or something. But it's pretty simple. And yeah, I know that the seller will take that deal. Just had to come in and be like, "Hey, look, hold on. All this techno babble, put that to the side. Mr. Seller, do you want to do seller finance? Yes or no?" "Yes." "Okay. Do you want these terms? Yes or no?" "Okay. If we could do these terms, can you have a decision for us by the weekend?" "Yes." "Okay." He could have left it at that. He could have fucking left it at that. And that motherfucker would have signed the paperwork. Obviously, we want to get all the nuances and the kinks and work all the fine details out. Yeah, we'll do all that. At the title company, when it's set to close or whatever. But yeah, either way, I think that was a good call. So that's a deal. That should be like a 20K pop. One thing that he did anchor, though, that was really good was the monthly payments. He said that was really good. He anchored them pretty low, like 1,500. I would have said 1,000. And he didn't have to say 20% down. He would have he's begging for 10%. He's begging for 10% down. Fuck you talking about 20% for? He would have took 7 or 6% down. Shit, I know this is a slam dunk deal. So as soon as he started talking a little bit too much, I'm like, oh God. But it's all good though. I think he didn't fuck it up. I'm gonna send him his info. They'll exchange contact info, and we'll make it happen. But yeah, if you guys got any value out of this, make sure to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. Comment any questions that you had or anything that you think I missed out. Just leave a comment. Let me know. I see all of them. If you want to work with me one-on-one and just have me coach you for 90 days and help you scale your wholesaling business to $20,000 to $50,000 per month, there's 2 ways to do that. You could do that with Zillow, free leads for sale by owner, not on market, not with a realtor, for sale by owner. And then I could teach you also how to build out a marketing channel, a paid marketing channel, whether that's Facebook ads, whether that's cold calling, whether that's text blasting. I can help you set all that up. If you want to hop on a call, just click the link below. You could book a call with me. On that call, I'll go over your exact situation and everything that you got going on. And I'll basically just tailor you a specific plan, a specific action plan for you to do for the next 90 days. If that sounds like something you want to do, like I said, just click the link below, book a call with me, and I'll see if you're a good fit. Stay motivated.